What if I told you that you and your kid partner can know when and what to publish on your YouTube channel for a full month, so there's no confusion what you should be recording? In the last episode of the In the Company of My Kids podcast, we talked about how to get a notebook full of content ideas before you start recording even that first YouTube video on your channel. And I promise that by the end of this episode, you'll know how to take those ideas and lay them out in an organized fashion on your content calendar so you can stay consistent with publishing your videos. YouTube is all about consistency. We're talking about how to plan your content calendar for YouTube productivity today. Welcome to the In the Company of My Kids podcast. I'm Nikki Lewis. If you have kids and have an entrepreneurial drive, this podcast is where you'll learn how to make money, kids and partners together as partners through a YouTube channel business. Now listen, I'm a person who thrives on organization. I don't work well in chaos. So I gotta be honest, having a content calendar where things are planned out is ideal for me. But if you aren't a planner, let me try to sell you on this idea, okay? Picture this. You and your kid get your YouTube channel going. You record the videos, you publish those videos pretty regularly, and after a few months, you start gaining some momentum. You're feeling good about yourself. But then you start running out of ideas. You deplete that list of ideas we made in the last video. So you give it a few days, not thinking about it, not producing any videos. Then you remember there's a holiday coming up in a few days. You can make a video about that. But by the time you think of an idea for it, record it, edit it, publish it up to YouTube, it's too late. Holiday's over. Now more days have gone by with no new content on your channel. Your viewers have watched all your videos. They don't have anything else to watch. And YouTube, seeing that you aren't putting out any new content, thinks you're not a serious content creator. And so it starts to downgrade your channel, not pushing it out like it used to. We all get in a content rut. Believe me, I have been there where I was just unsure of what to make next. But why are you doing this YouTube business thing? Let's go back to that. We talked about that in the previous episode. You love the thought of launching a business with your kid. It's something fun that you can do together. You also know that there isn't a lot of job satisfaction out there. Those that truly love their jobs, they're the lucky ones, because most people get stuck in a job that they hate, and you don't want that for your kid. Plus, you want your kid and your family to be set up with something you own and grow to a level of profitability that can last through your family's future generations. That's legacy building. And you can do all of that starting right here with an online business you and your kid launch on YouTube. That's why you're doing this. So let's get focused and get those story ideas down on our calendar. It's going to be worth it in the end. And you as the parent, you're most likely the leader in your YouTube business you're creating. Your kid's going to be waiting on you to tell them it's time to record. So let's get busy and make sure we're organized here. The most efficient way I found to avoid a content creation slump is by keeping a month-to-month content calendar. And I'm about to tell you exactly how my family and I create our content calendar. But first, I got to tell you about something I'm really excited about. Before you edit that first YouTube video, you want to make sure you have some good elements to keep your audience engaged. Envato Elements is what I use, and I've used it for years for music, sound effects, photos, and graphics in all of our videos. You can go to nikkilewis.net/Envato so you can spice up your videos before you publish them. And the best part, as an Envato member, you get a digital license to each element you use in your project. You know what that means? That means you're not worrying about copyright infringement when you upload your videos to YouTube. You're protected. But what's great is that they have thousands of fun elements to choose from. So go to nikkilewis.net/Envato to check it out now. As an Envato affiliate, I earn a small commission for your qualifying purchase, but there's never an extra cost to you. Okay, let's get into it. I'm going to tell you how to plan out your content calendar so you can stay consistent. You and your kid are just starting out on your YouTube channel, so let's make sure we start your channel right. because consistency is queen. This is a task you can learn, then teach your kid, then let the kid handle it. My daughter Nadia and I work on this together, and many times I just hand it off to her because, she now knows what to do. And the more chances for her to feel like she's the boss, the more she's in her happy place.
That's true.
The number one question I get asked is, how can my family and I start a YouTube channel like you and your family? Or my kids keep saying that they want to start a YouTube channel. How can we do it? Well, we're going to be diving into those exact details in this podcast. But in the meantime, I've put together a free cheat sheet for you. To get it, just go to nikkilewis.net/freebie. Okay, here are our steps. Number one, we plan one channel at a time. So this probably doesn't apply to you yet because you're just starting your channel. We have multiple channels, so we have to just focus on one channel at a time when it comes to content creation, content calendar planning. But as you grow, you might add on additional channels and you want to try to handle everything at once, but it's easiest to focus on one at a time. So that's step number one. Step number two is be mindful of your channel type and niche. So with our main channel, Loose Seeds, and our niche is family challenges. So we always get together and do something fun where we're challenging each other on that channel. That's the niche that we're in. So when I'm thinking about ideas for videos, it has to be within the niche. It's easy to just look at what else is out there on YouTube and start just pulling anything, but you want to make sure you stay focused on your niche. We talked about that in a previous episode. Number three is to take note of tentpole moments and trends. So tentpole moments are those things that pop up all the time, right? They're going to come up: Christmas, Easter, New Year's Eve, things like that. So you want to pay attention to those moments out in the future. One good resource for doing that is going to the website nationaltoday.com. That website keeps track of unique holidays you can build content around. And I got to give a shout out to Taisha Bradley, celebrity publicist, for putting me down with that resource. But on there, you can see what zany holidays are coming up, regular holidays that are coming up. But it will really give you some good ideas on creating content. You can think of some ideas around those different holidays. And then trends. What is trending right now? Of course, you can look on YouTube to see what's trending in your niche, but you can also just check the media, the news, just what's going on right now in relation to your niche, or that you can incorporate into your niche. Let me give you an example. So my hubby, Daddy Seed, he has a new channel. And on his channel, he and my son, Nigel, they do a show called Dad and Son Kicks and Cooking. So they talk about sneakers and they do some cooking in the kitchen as well. So recently there was a scandal with a Nike exec that Daddy Seed, he jumped on the story and he talked about on his Daddy Seed channel because Nike, obviously relating to sneakers, and it was a good conversational piece that they could incorporate into their video. So that was something that was just out in the media that is now becoming a hot topic on YouTube. And this is the type of thing you can do. And then I say also, look at what's in the media and figure out how you can incorporate it. Maybe it's not directly related like the Daddy Seed example, but it could be something that you can try to incorporate into your channel, as long as it's not too far off. But let me give you an example of that. So recently, Among Us, the game, became really popular. And, looking at our Loose Seeds channel, we're not a gaming channel. We're a family channel that does challenges, right? So since Among Us was popular in the gaming world, we took it and we did Among Us in real life. So still a family challenge, still hopping on the trend of Among Us, but incorporating it in a way that works with our niche and works for our audience. So see what's happening out in the world and see how you can incorporate it into your channel. Number 4 is to decide the max number of days in a week you're able to publish. Now I say the max number because obviously the more content you put out, the more views you're going to get, right? Your viewers are going to have more things to watch and your views will grow with the more content you put out. However, I also say that you're able to publish because you don't want to overwhelm yourself with committing to putting out a certain number of videos that you can't fulfill. Okay, you got to think about what's going on in your life. Are you able to get all these videos recorded? Because you do, again, want to stay consistent and have a set day and time that you publish each week so your audience knows when to expect your content, just like a TV show. So I'm about to give you the last 3 things you need to complete your content calendar. But first, I have to ask you something. Are you enjoying this show? If so, please do me a favor and click subscribe right now. It really helps the show grow so we can reach more people, which means I can keep creating this content for you. And if you really love it, please click share to share it with a friend. Okay, number 5 is to plan your playlist. Remember we talked previously about pooling similar content together in a playlist or bucket or pillar, right? We talked about that in a previous episode. So I want you to come up with, say, 3 or 4 playlist ideas. For example, if you've decided you're going to publish a video 3 times a week, then maybe you have 3 playlists, so you can fill one with each video each week. So the number 6 is to plan your video titles and thumbnails based on your playlist. We're going to go into detail about this in a future episode, but your title and thumbnail are what's going to get folks to click on your video. So take them seriously, all right? One way to get clickable title ideas is to look at magazine covers and the articles in the magazines. Think about that. These magazines go through a lot of effort making sure the titles grab people's attention, right? So just go to your local bookstore. You can even look up online, magazines, recent magazines, current magazines, to see what those titles are. Maybe look in your own collection. See how these writers are wording the article titles, because you can use that same type of structure and the sensational words that are used in the titles for your YouTube titles. And as for thumbnails, look at what draws your attention in your niche on YouTube. Which thumbnails make you want to click? Analyze those thumbnails. What is it about those thumbnails that's making you want to click it? Is it the color? Is it people in it? Is it an object in it? Are words on the thumbnail? Think about that. And then see how you can make your thumbnail just as exciting and enticing. So number 7 is to fill in your calendar. So using your list of ideas you wrote for your playlist, put titles on your calendar based on your planned published days, all right? Give your audience a taste of each playlist each week too. Don't dump all the titles from one playlist into that week's videos. You want to rotate it. Maybe do one from each of those playlists through the week. All right, here's an example of our content calendar. This is how we do it. Okay, let me show you our content calendar. This is from January, but you can get the idea of how it goes. Check it out. Okay, this calendar, Nadia, I put together for January. Looking at the top, you see the colors up here. So that purplish color is, I've coded videos that have been recorded in that color. The next one, green, if the video has been edited, it's with if it went to the editors and now we have the video back, then I put it in green. And if I've already uploaded it to YouTube and it's ready to be published, then that means it's scheduled to be published. Or if it has already been published, then that is in that orange color. So that's the key to what you're going to see below. Okay, so these gray bars at the top of the calendar show our different channels. You won't have this many channels starting out, of course. But for us, at the time of this recording, at the time of this calendar being made, we had LSK for Loose Seeds Kids, Loose Seeds Gaming, and Mommy Seed. So these are the days and times that we planned on posting for those different channels. Then going into the calendar, you can see, again, going back, this orange means that it was published. So all these videos had been published on the days that they were scheduled to be published. And then so if we miss a day, which of course you should never do, that, but you want to stay on your content calendar schedule as much as possible. But if things happen and you might have to post late or post a different day, what I'll do is I'll put the actual day the video posted on the calendar so I can look back at it to keep track. And then you scroll through the calendar down here, this section, you see there's no calendar date above these. So if we are going through the month and we think of content ideas, and I'll go ahead and just jot it down in a square. So I'll remember to put it on the next month's calendar to keep track of that. And at the bottom, then we have playlists. So we want to know what our playlists are for each channel. And so again, for Loose Eats Gaming, these are the playlists we plan on using. For Loose Eats Kids, these are the playlists we plan on using, and so on. So when we're creating our video ideas, our titles, we're looking at our playlist first to see where we're going to be dropping that video. And that's it. And number 8 is to repeat this process each month, at least a week before the new month begins. And then you will be on track with growing through consistently releasing your content to YouTube. Now just pat yourself on the back for creating that first calendar. That's big. But there's something you need before you create your content release schedule. And that's, you got to create your content recording schedule. That's right. You can't publish until you record. But don't worry, because I'm telling you all about it in the next episode of the In the Company of My Kids podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you back here building online businesses one family at a time.